Hello, we're in part 2 of Fortnitemares, and with part 2, we got 2 new heroes, one in the event store, and one in the quest line. Sanguine, aka Dusk. Her name is Dusk, the subclass is Sanguine. She's not a mythic, which tells me we're going to get another version of Sanguine. I don't think so, but it's weird. She gets, bat wings. That's her backpack. No headpiece, no headpiece. She's awesome. She's an Outlander. The in-game description: uses phase shift to steal health from enemies. That's pretty much all she does. But wait, how do you get her? So if you come over to your Fortnitemares questline, you go to page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6. Stakeout is where you pick up Sanguine. Just like all Outlanders, she gets focused acquisition, increases your chance to find double loot by 6%. You get loot llamas when you pick up purple fragments. You get shock towers, phase shifts, and anti-material charge. Level 5, you get the new perk that she brings to the table, Phase Siphon. Phase shifting through enemies deals 11 base damage and heals 6 base health. So you deal damage and you heal. This potentially means that you could be killing things and healing just by phase shifting like a maniac. Level 8, you get Capacitor. Increases duration of shock tower by 1 second. Level 12, In and Outlander. Eliminating 3 enemies. Just 3. Like, just 3. Within 10 seconds after using phase shift will refund the phase shift charge. So if you phase shift and you kill 3 guys within 10 seconds, you get your phase shift back. Level 15, you get Phase Shield. Phase shift forces the shield to regenerate for 2 seconds. Your shield will regenerate even if you continue to take damage. So what happens, if you guys aren't aware of it, when you take damage, your shield doesn't, so you have a shield before your health starts getting taken away, and your shield will go down, and it has a delay before it starts to recharge, so it's not constantly fighting as you're getting hit. It goes down, it goes down, it goes down, and then when you don't get hit for a while or you're out of combat, it'll start to recharge back up. If you phase shift this phase shield perk, the moment you phase shift, it starts to recharge, but it's at a slower rate, but it will only regenerate at 20% of the regular rate. But you can also continue to get hit during those 2 seconds, and your shield will continue to, I mean, if you're getting hit, it's getting chipped away, but it'll continue to go. And if you're phase shifting, your shield is constantly coming and going. Level 18, Long Arm of the Law, increases the travel distance of your anti-material charge by 1.5 tiles. So now you can punch probably like 3 tiles. Level 3, Star, Evolution, in the zone because you're an Outlander, so you can farm faster with your pickaxe after 5 hits in a row. 25, Super Siphon. This is huge. Increases the healing, not damage, but just the healing of your phase siphon to 32 base health. It doesn't add another 32, it increases it to 32. Level 30, you get Phased and Confused. Phase Shift has 2 additional charges, so now you have 5 charges of phase shift. So, just looking at it really quick, if you haven't noticed already, you have all this survivability, phase shifting and survivability from phase shifting. You have 1 perk that increases your shock tower by 1 second, and then you have 1 perk that gives you a longer distance on your punch. Everything else is survivability. You don't have any other damage things. Bonuses she brings to the table, this is huge. If you guys are skeptical about Fortnitemares and you're going to sit it out, you don't want to do the grind, the reskinned missions from last year, you're silly. You need to get this hero, especially if you're newer and you missed out on Reclaimer. The Energized support bonus increases energy damage by 20%. It's huge. It's huge. So, if you don't have Reclaimer, you need to do the quest line just for this bonus. I can't stress that enough. I mean, you need it. You need it. It's super good. It's super. Speaking of energized, my loadout consists of energized. And then I run healing. I always run healing anymore. Clearly, because if you look above, you can see my resistance is at 662, and my fortitude is at 2300. I'm a little squishy. But that's my choice. My choice is stay at level 100. Okay, so for those of you that are brand new, just really quick, the basics. Outlanders have these fragments in the world. Whatever, these are in the world no matter what. Anybody can grab them or activate them. If you're not an Outlander, you just activate them, and it gives everybody in the map a speed bonus for like 10 to 15 seconds while they're sprinting or walking. If you're an Outlander, it consumes it out of the map. Boosh! And it gives you 1 charge. So all the charge does is it reduces the cooldown of your abilities. So Shock Tower right now is at a 15-second cooldown, whereas normally it's going to be a 30-second cooldown, I believe. 20-second. 20 or 30. We'll find out. Shock Tower is the tower you put down. It's a big AoE pulsing electric bolt ability. Yeah, so 21. If you use a fragment, it takes it down to 15-second cooldown. Doesn't last very long. But if you've got a crowd, it's super good at stunning and killing off all of the fodder in a crowd. Another thing this character has is the phase shift. It is literally like you phase forward. You can phase through husks. You can't phase through objects, though. Oh, I went through the tree. Hold on, let me find. We'll go through this rubble right here. Whoosh. See, I bounced off of it. And then punch. Anti-material charge was mainly used for breaking down walls, structures, and things for getting into new areas or for farming. But now, in a couple months ago, it got a buff, and it does some significant damage to husks now. But you can use it for farming. You can use it for husks. There are also purple fragments, like the blue one we just picked up, that will give you a loot llama, that will give you resources like wood, brick, and metal. And then if you break it, you can get ore and crafting materials also. Not a lot, but you can. So, okay. This hero specializes in phase shifting through husks. So let's go ahead and we'll just ignite that. We'll probably clear them all out. That's good enough. That's good enough. All right. It also does damage. So let's, we'll just get rid of this guy.
Check out your map.
So we're going to phase. I have full health, so we can't see, but we're going to phase through this guy. If you noticed, it was blue, so it's energy damage. And it took him down to 2/3. Ish. We'll do it again to this guy. Energy damage. Okay. We'll let him beat on me for a second. Beat me. Alright. We're gonna phase shift through him. Whoosh. Whoosh. Oh. Okay. Almost full health. Oh, there's enough husks here for fun. Check this out. Here we go. We're gonna drop my health down. Okay. Watch. You guys ready? Whoosh. Full health. Wow, it's lagging though. Lagging. Too much for the game to comprehend. Whoosh. Full health. Whoosh. Full health. Alright. And then we'll get our 3 kills. There we go. We got our phase shift back. Remember, if you get 3 kills after 5 seconds, or after a phase shift within 10 seconds, down to 4, 1, 2. Oh, I got it back. The headshot explosion killed more than 2. Whoosh. Really doesn't do any damage, though, going through them. I mean, it does chip damage.
To complete the mission.
Whoosh. Turn around, you kill a couple.
One down. Let's find the next one. The next encampment might be stronger. Make sure your weapons and ammo are
Another
ready to
thing
go.
you can do when you're phase shifting around is if you drop Shock Tower right at the beginning, the kills that it, if it kills 3 after your phase shifting, which it will, you'll get your phase shift back that way too. So you can phase shift, Shock Tower, phase shift, phase shift. Alright. Show you the punch. Punch is also good, so if you got a bunch of them in front of you. Roar! Okay, I've been pretty much killed just about everything. It'll get you out of a pinch. You don't go super far. But it does do some damage. It does do some damage. We'll group these guys up again. And we'll go roar! And yes. Oh, punch is also energy based, by the way. Here. Let's wait for it to come back. So, phase shift is energy, Shock Tower is energy, punch is energy. So that's why I run Reclaimer. Because not only does it buff my abilities, but it buffs my energy weapons. So I can use energy weapons and then get buffs. As an Outlander, you really don't have any gunplay buffs. So, instead of running assault damage and not buffing my ability, I'll run Reclaimer and buff my energy weapons and then my energy-based abilities. Make sense? Makes sense. Makes sense to me. Now let's, there's another thing that people are doing now. I'm not sure if I like. I've tried it a couple times, but it's running Sergeant in your tactical for the AoE knockback effect after the end of your phase shift. It does do some damage. It does do some damage. It used to really do nothing, but apparently it's been buffed, and I didn't know it got buffed over the last year. So it does do some serious damage. So let's we're gonna switch really quick to a different Outlander that doesn't do damage when phase shifting, and we'll see how much damage the knockback does, and then we'll bring it back to this hero and see what the difference is. See if it's worth it. All right, so we're back in. I'm using Gunblazer from the scavenger event. He's also 4-star 40, just like Sanguine, aka Dusk, just so that they're close. Some heroes do have slightly different ability damage modifiers and whatnot, and then we've slotted Sergeant in the tactical for his phase blast. The phase blast at the end of the phase shift causes a blast, knocking enemies backwards. It doesn't state it does damage, but it does do some damage. So if you face forward, whoosh, it's the AoE knockback. Okay. Let's go find something to play with. Did 4,000? Is that what that was? 43. So 4,003. 4,003. Okay. And that's against a regular husk. Does it get damage reduction? I bet you it does. Alright, let's see if it's still 4,300. 33. Right? 33? 32. Okay, so it does get reduced. 32 and 43. Alright, we're back on Sanguine with Sergeant in Tactical. $36. 48. Just want to point out one more thing about this ability. It doesn't really do a lot of damage. This tactical AoE knockback. I mean, it doesn't always knock back the target, right? Which is what it's really supposed to do. So we'll run away, we'll come back, we'll phase. It didn't even stun or knock them back. And it did a little bit of chip damage. So in the sense to where you're on like a level 1 or 2 encampment where you have a bunch of skinnies and kitties running around, you might be able to kill them in 2 or 3 blasts, but you're not doing much to the fatties or mist monsters at all. So I'm still not a fan of it. I know a lot of people that still use this AoE blast and claim they can go back and forth through an encampment and clear it out. You gotta remember that this is level 76. I'm level 100 and I have max tech level. I'm also a 4-star 40 hero, so technically the only other thing that I could do is become a 5-star 50 hero for a 4th zone, level 76, to see if I can actually kill these guys with the phase burst thingy. So I don't know. It's hit or miss. For me, I'm gonna stick with healing. But if you guys like this AoE knockback, go for it. A lot of people do. I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on it. Here's a bunch of kitties.
15 minutes to complete the mission.
Look at that. Look at that. Just half health. Let's run away again. Because if you phase shift through them, then you're not going to hit them. You have to stop at them. There we go. So 3 phase shifts, and I was able to kill them. So that's Sanguine in a nutshell. I actually really like it. So when the patch notes came out and we saw the phase shift damage and life stealing, I was like, this character's going to be OP, right? The damage is super underwhelming, but you can't get hung up on that. The amount of healing you get for phase shifting through at least 2 or 3 husks is ridiculous. And then if you're playing your survivor squads evenly, unlike me, where you've got shield and health boosted upward like it should be instead of down to 0, it's going to be insane the amount of healing you can do. Or the survivability. Again, damage output wise, a little underwhelming. The punch is decent, just because of how they've buffed it. Phase shift with the area knockback tactical is okay. Shock tower is always one of my favorite abilities, especially for AoE clears. And then punching to get out of situations, phase shifting to get out of situations. You can potentially have unlimited phase shifts as long as you're killing stuff. but you will run out of energy. I mean, I can phase shift sometimes like 10, 12 times, and then I'm finally out of energy, it seems like. Then you just have to wait a little bit for your energy to come back, because it only costs 10 energy. So it's fun. Despite not having any kind of real serious hardcore damage output, it's viable. I can play with people in level 100 missions, everything as a 4-star, and absolutely no shield and a little bit of health. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Combine that with the new LMG and candy. You put candy all over the ground. You're phase shifting. You're healing. You're picking up candy. It's gross. It's totally gross. And then again, I run Master Grenader and Tactical, so all my ability kills are also healing me over time. So I'm just rolling in the heals. It's quite fun. These guys will not let me end the video. All right. Well, now that he's dead, and before I get pissed on by the lobber, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.